This week on Premier Preps, we are going down to the wire in the regular season. PVL baseball between Oakmont and Lincoln, a 1 versus 2 between Oak Ridge and Del Oro softball, and the final week of the regular season in boys volleyball. Plus, a look at a heartwarming Delta League special needs track meet. You are watching Premier Preps. Welcome to another episode of Premier Preps. I am your host, Nick Pecoraro. Thank you, as always, for hanging out on your Sunday. We are getting down to the nitty-gritty of this season. The boys volleyball playoffs begin this coming week. It's the final week of the regular season for baseball, and we've got tons of great matchups still left on the softball field. But first, we start with a league-deciding series in the Pioneer Valley League between Oakmont and Lincoln. The Vikings beat Lincoln in last year's playoffs on their way to section and NorCal titles. But with the emergence of Landon Plout, the two-way stud for the Zebras, anything is possible. Plout is among the national leaders in home runs and has 3 no-hitters on the bump this year. These two PVL powerhouses collide on Friday in Roseville. Oakmont took game 1 of this 2-game set with Lincoln on Wednesday. A win on Friday would seal the Pioneer Valley League title outright with a week to go, and the Vikings had their ace on the hill, Trevor Wilson. But in the first, Landon Plout goes the opposite way for a 2-out double. The William Jessup commit has just been unstoppable at the plate this season, but he would be stranded at second as Wilson gets out of it and leads off the bottom half of the inning for the Vikes. Hitting against Plout, Wilson goes the opposite way for a single, and he sets the table for Oakmont. He works his way over to third with 1 out, and Cooper Kunis comes up with a productive AB. That brings Wilson home from third, and the Vikings lead 1-0. Top 3 we go, runners aboard for Landon Plout once again. I told you he was unstoppable this year. The kid is hitting .507 with 13 homers and 40 RBI. He gets the Zebras on the board with an RBI single. That scores Dylan Nell, and we're all knotted up at 1 apiece. But Oakmont wants to win the inning. Bottom 3, runner on for Trevor Wilson. The sack bunt turns into a costly error for Lincoln. Zane Ball is chugging his way around third. He'll score from first on the error, and Oakmont jumps back in front 2-1. Later in the inning, runners at second and third for Aiden Dringenberg. He's had his share of clutch hits this year. How about another one for the highlight reel? He finds a gap in right center. Cooper Kunis and Bo Ogles come in to score. 4 runs in the inning for Oakmont, and the Vikes lead 5-1 after 3. Back to Lincoln. We mentioned Landon Plout had 13 dingers entering this game. This one was almost number 14. That baseball is going to need some therapy after getting crushed off the wall. Plout went 3 for 4 on Friday, and he knew it was just that close from getting out of here. But credit Trevor Wilson, the future Sac State Hornet, gets out of the inning with one of his 7 punch-outs. Oakmont tacks one on in the 5th. Casey Tibbetts shoots it through the 5-6 hole. Bo Ogles coming in to score once more. The Vikings would add 2 more in the 6th. And C.J. Smith comes in to get the final 3 outs. And at 10-0, Oakmont claims the outright PVL title for the 3rd time in the last 4 years.
We had a talk after our Fresno tournament that it's our last year playing together. Let's give it our all, nothing to lose. Just go out there, have fun, play the game that we've been playing since we were little kids. And after that, momentum has changed. Momentum's been going good, so I think it's just going to keep on carrying us through.
Time to take a look at our big picture baseball top 10 presented by LENIE'S Pictures. Folks, it's almost graduation season, and LENIE'S Pictures has some great packages for your grad at any level. custom banners, festive yard signs, and much more. Just visit LENIE'Spictures.com. Let's take a look at our big picture top 10 baseball rankings presented by LENI'S Pictures. Can't get enough high school sports in Sacramento? Well, Premier Preps has got you covered like no one else. You want game highlights? We got you. You want local insight? We got you. You want inspirational feature stories? We've got you. How about exclusive interviews with prominent players and coaches in the area? We got you. Scores, updates, top plays, and much, much more every Sunday at 5 o'clock during the high school season on YouTube. We look back at the week that was and keep you updated on who's got next. So follow along on social media and subscribe on YouTube to Premier Preps with me, Nick Pecoraro, because it's giving Sacramento high school sports the coverage it deserves. It doesn't get much better than a 1 versus 2 matchup late in the season to help determine a league championship. That's essentially what we got on Wednesday in the SFL with the top 2 teams in our weekly softball top 10, Oak Ridge and Del Oro. 19th section titles between these two programs. The Trojans handed DO its only loss this season back on March 21st, but the Golden Eagles have responded red hot with 9 straight wins entering this matchup. This one was just too good to pass up. The Trojans and the Golden Eagles on Wednesday in Loomis. All right, you knew runs were going to be hard to come by in this game, especially with Santa Clara-bound Ellison Schroeder taking on the sophomore sensation Michaela Finn. Oak Ridge and Del Oro for that number 1 spot. Here we go. Both pitchers dealing early. Finn strikes out the side in the second, and then Schroeder getting some defensive help in the bottom half. Emery Glazer in center field with the leaping grab. That takes away certain extra bases, and we are scoreless through 2. Top 3, North Carolina State commit Carly Short went 2 for 3 on the afternoon. This single puts runners on the corners, and in the next at-bat, Short causing some havoc on the base paths. She takes second on the steal, and an error allows Brooklyn Parator to come home from third, and Oak Ridge leads 1-0. Bottom 4 we go. Del Oro on the comeback trail. Emma Johnson starts it off with a single. In case you didn't know, she's one of the best freshman hitters in the area. And then senior Delaney Osborne follows with a 1-out knock. That was a bullet to center. That moves the tying run into scoring position for Avery Enyart. Enyart had 2 absolute barrels in this game, but the Trojan defense was all over him. Carly Short plays it off the third baseman's glove. She stays with it and gets the out to squash the rally. Bottom 5, runner on third, 2 outs. Abby Davidson with a grounder to third, but the throw is bobbled at first, and Kaylin Campos comes in to score the tying run. It's 1-1 in the top of the 6th now, 1 out for Emery Glazer. The UNR commit delivers a go-ahead solo shot, and that thing was smoked. Glazer's second long ball of the year puts the Trojans in front 2-1. But the Golden Eagles keep clawing. Bottom 6. Runner on for Delaney Osborne, and with the initials D.O., she was born to play for Del Oro. She comes through with an RBI knock. That ties things back up at 2 apiece. And we're still in the 6th, bases loaded now with 2 outs for freshman Kaylin Campos. And if you didn't know about Kaylin, she says, please allow me to introduce myself. The 2-run single gives Del Oro a 4-2 lead, and the Golden Eagles can taste victory. Michaela Finn takes care of business by striking out the side in the 7th, and Del Oro moves into sole possession of first place in the SFL. Kaylin, tell us about that clutch AB.
I was really feeling it. I was on time. I just was trying to execute. We work on execution a lot in on my travel ball team. So I was just trying to do the most I could to get those runs in. feeling really confident now, feeling great going through the next couple of games. This was our big one. This was the one that we had to get back, so I'm feeling great.
Time for our big picture top 10 softball rankings presented by LENIE'S Pictures. Hey, did you know that when you visit LENIE'Spictures.com, you can use the promo code NP7 at checkout and get $7 photo downloads exclusively through Premier PREPS? It sounds too good to be true, but it's not. Take advantage of that special while you still can. Here's the latest big picture top 10 softball rankings presented by LENI'S Pictures.
LENI'S Pictures is your go-to site for priceless photos and memorabilia. This local family business has captured great action shots for a decade, but there's so much more to offer with a personalized touch for team and individual photos, game day galleries, banners, yard signs, festive mementos for senior nights, team banquets, or even just to cheer your kid on at their games, all 100% custom made by LENI'S Pictures, any student, any season, any occasion. So make those memories last forever and visit LENI'Spictures.com and use the promo code NP7 for $7 photo downloads exclusively through Premier PREPS. That's LENI'Spictures.com, your official photography sponsor for Premier PREPS.
Big thanks to the Rylee Grace Foundation for its support and sponsorship of Premier PREPS feature stories this spring. The Rylee Grace Foundation provides support and resources for families experiencing the struggles that come with pediatric cancer. This week's feature shines a spotlight on a special event in the Delta League, the Unified Track and Field Meet, where several Elk Grove area schools competed with more than 200 special needs student athletes, 3 events, and countless smiles. Let's check it out. In this competition, everyone is a winner. Laguna Creek High School was the host for scores of special needs athletes of all abilities from schools within the Elk Grove Unified School District for its 5th annual Unified Special Olympics Track and Field Meet.
Special Olympics, Unified Sports through Northern California. We have a special ed student who's a unified athlete and then a unified peer who's a general ed student. And the two of them work together and they take their times or their distances and they add them together and they just get to compete. It's a lot of work. The opening ceremony, it's kind of controlled chaos a little bit. But then once we get rolling, to see the smiles on these kids' faces is fantastic.
Laguna Creek, Franklin, Elk Grove, Valley, Sheldon, and Monterey Trail were all represented in competition for the 100-meter dash, the broad jump, and shot put. Yeah! And all of the medals and the opportunities to stand at the top of the podium were earned.
All the special education students get to have fun and do their thing.
It was fun showing different schools and stuff, seeing other schools getting big medals and stuff.
I did good, and all the events were pretty fun. I did like the long jump, the shot put, and like the 100-meter.
Everyone loves competition, right? Everyone loves to compete at any age. Everyone loves to hear being cheered while they're running down the track, and so get out there. A lot of these athletes are going to now move on to the section track meets that are happening. We've sent a state team every year for the Unified 4x100. We plan on doing it again. And so there's other opportunities to watch Unified Sports.
So how long do each of these special athletes train to prepare for an event like this?
I would say I practice all the freaking time.
Almost a year.
And how do we feel like we did?
Awesome! That's it.
Well, you certainly don't need a lot of words to describe this day. But a few that come to mind: heartwarming, uplifting, and inspiring.
We're here to show community out here, show sportsmanship, have the best sportsmanship you could ever have. I just say as be a good sportsmanship and just try your best out here. Try your best out here. don't count yourself as a failure. Always believe in what you can do. My favorite part of this day is seeing everybody, just seeing them have a smile on their face and just have a good time.
I won the first place!
From Laguna Creek High School, I'm Nick Pecoraro, and this is Premier Preps. ERIK'S DeliCafe brings you the team with character each week this spring, and guess what? You don't need to be chosen as the team with character each week to enjoy great food from ERIK'S DeliCafe. They've got sandwiches with character, soups made from ERIK'S family recipes, freshly made salads, and much more. Order online from the Folsom and Roseville locations and enter the promo code FORVBOGO425 to get this week's buy one, get one deals for sandwiches, wraps, and salads, valid through May 3rd. This week's team with character is the Laguna Creek boys volleyball team. With a 5-set thriller against Pleasant Grove to close the regular season, the Cardinals claimed their first ever Delta League championship. With a rotation made up of mostly juniors, Jake Shipley is second in the section in kills, Gavin Hetrick and Ian Ayakaremye are both top 3 in blocks, and Aiden Wong is among the leaders in assists. Look out for the Cardinals in the playoffs. They are this week's ERIK'S DeliCafe team with character.
Complaining of dizziness, lightheadedness. We're going to send EMS on the way, but can you take a ride over there? 10-4 on my way.
It's allowed our responders to get their hands on the next step of technologies that are facing EMS.
It saves you the time to ask the questions and really concentrate on treating the patient.
This week marked the final week of the boys volleyball regular season, and we will dive right into playoff action on next week's show, but we closed the regular season with a Premier Preps top 10 matchup between our number 5 and 6 teams entering the week, as Del Oro hosts Nevada Union. The Miners have the Foothill Valley League wrapped up, but the Golden Eagles took a 2-set tourney match with NU back in early March, and these two could potentially meet up again in the postseason. But for now, it's NU and DO on Tuesday night. Could we be looking at a potential playoff preview between Del Oro and Nevada Union? We'll find out soon enough, but for now, we close the regular season in Loomis, and here we go. First set, DO on the hunt as Hunter Larkin gets the Golden Eagles off to a hot start. And then right behind him is Grayson Holcomb, doing a little bit of headhunting of his own. But here comes Nevada Union. Some big-time defense at the net, courtesy of A.J. Jennings. That's a setter, by the way, getting up for that block. And the next trip down, this time Jennings is going to feed Ryder Elkema. That's a good decision because Ryder gives that ball a ride, and the Miners are keeping it tight all throughout the first set. Next up, Boone Hamilton, straight up doing damage to the tablet recording the game. That thing goes lights out. If I was standing 2 feet to my left, I'd be dead. But the first set would belong to Del Oro. Grayson Holcomb showing off the bunnies, and the Golden Eagles take it 25-23. Switching sides for set 2, Ryder Elkema continues his hot night. You know he also had 1,300 rushing yards for the NU football team this year? You gotta love those multi-sporters. But Del Oro once again takes charge in set 2. Jaden Steele tools one off the block. And then here comes Steele again. Check out this hit. It tight ropes the net off the NU block. And Del Oro takes set 2, 25-17. In the third, Steele looking for more, but this time he's denied by Boone Hamilton. He's got the Miners all fired up. But here come the Golden Eagles. Hunter Larkin is too hot to handle. And then his boy Hayden Yarns wants to have a go. James Learn dropping dimes out here, by the way, for Del Oro. But the Miners are going to make one last push. Ryder Elkema led Nevada Union with 13 kills on Tuesday. That ties a season high. But this one was all Del Oro. James Learn with an ace up his sleeve to close out the sweep. And the Golden Eagles are feeling pretty good about themselves heading into the postseason.
It was big. Like our coach told us earlier, like this is the one like Division II team that's like intersection that we're playing this week, and so we were like, okay, this is the game like we need to win. This is the game we're going to focus on, and so we came out and we got done. But we'll see any team in sections this year. So yeah.
Let's take a look at our final regular season boys volleyball top 10 rankings for the Sac Joaquin section. It's time for our Infinite Performance Plays of the Week. Infinite Performance Physical Therapy is your go-to source for injury rehab and prevention exercises, as well as sport-specific training. Go ahead and connect with Infinite Performance Physical Therapy for all of your fitness and recovery needs. And don't forget, you can send me Play of the Week nominees on social media. Just tag me with a short clip and let me know what's going on with the play. And you could find yourself featured on Premier Preps even if I'm not at your game. Let's check out our Infinite Performance Plays of the Week. We go to Del Oro's Jaden Steele, who uses a little bit of sorcery for this point. Off the block, but it tight ropes the net and falls for the Del Oro point. From last week, Vacaville catcher Hayden Kine chases down a wild pitch, but the Notre Dame commit hurries back home and says, "You shall not pass!" Hayden with the hustle points. Oak Ridge center fielder Emery Glazer chases down a line drive to rob Del Oro of extra bases. The Nevada Reno commit with some nice glove work. More Oak Ridge. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If your name is Carly Short, you grow up and make clutch plays at shortstop. Off the third baseman's glove, Carly keeps a run off the board with a frickin' laser beam. And that is your Infinite Performance Play of the Week.
What's up, Infinite family? We have something new for you guys for 2025. We finally teamed up with My PT Hub and created the ultimate all-inclusive Infinite app. Within the app, you'll be able to purchase memberships, book and cancel sessions, and purchase online go-at-your-own-pace programs. Something new we're adding this year is becoming an Infinite Virtual Athlete, where you have custom programs built for you with video demonstrations to ensure you are doing the exercises properly. I'm super excited for this new addition and being able to create Infinite built athletes no matter where you are in the world.
Well, that's it for episode 36 of Premier Preps. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's playoff episodes from here on out, so make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow along on social media for all the updates across the Sac Joaquin section. I'm Nick Pecoraro, this is Premier Preps, and we will see you next week.